What's up, TTC? What's up, Nine Empire Mailman? Um, Giving you my little recap on the 2011 NFL Draft. I know that was a way long time ago, but this is about the only time I've had time to make a video on what I thought about the draft. And also, I was kind of waiting to see what everybody else had to say about our draft before really I put my 2 cents in on it and let everybody know what I think about, you know, our draft or whatnot. Um, I pretty much listened to everybody, and I heard, what people had to say about the draft, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on our draft, what I think about it, and all of that. And basically, I feel like in this draft, we drafted need. We drafted needs. We drafted position of need. Definitely did that. But this draft, I would say we did a lot of reaching in this draft. Reaching in this draft. I really did not like it, but at the same time, I mean, I kind of understand certain concepts of it, but then again, I really don't. Let's get right into it. First round, seventh pick. 49ers picked up Aldon Smith out of Missouri. I'm just like everybody else. I was shocked about this pick. I was shocked not about the position of pick, because me personally, I was one of the few 49er fans on board with bringing in a pass rusher instead of getting a cornerback. I think a majority of 49er fans out there really kind of wanted us to either get Patrick Peterson or they were hoping that we drafted Prince Amukamara. But me personally, I felt like we needed someone to put pressure on the quarterback because I felt like the cornerbacks in this draft were very, very deep. And I wanted to go with a pass rusher. I was hoping Von Miller would fall, but he did not. He went number 2. But there were some guys out there. Aldon Smith, to me, I think is a guy with a lot of talent and a lot of potential. And he's just one of those guys we just don't know. And I don't think he was a clean player in the draft. I mean, my thing on him, my negatives about him, he basically played a year and a half of college football. A redshirt sophomore came out, broke his leg, played with a broken leg last season. Good player. I did not expect him to go that high. I expected him to go the first round, but not as high as us. I mean, my thing was Nick Fairley was still on the board. I thought Nick Fairley would have fit in good in the defensive end in the 3-4 scheme. I don't know why we didn't get Nick Fairley. He was there to take. Why we didn't get him, I don't know. A lot of other 49er fans I know probably wanted us to pick up Prince Amukamara, but me personally, like I said, the cornerback that really impressed me was Razai Dowling out of Virginia. He really impressed me from looking at him, but the Patriots got a fucking steal out of him. I think they got him in the second round, the very first pick out the second round, but Razai Dowling was the guy that I really kind of wanted to get as a corner because I knew that we weren't going to get Peterson. But, man, the Patriots got a fucking steal with that guy. That guy's going to be a fucking player. Razai Dowling, if you don't know him, look him up. He's sensational. Second round, and this is my thing. I know I made a pre-draft video saying that I wanted us to stay away from Colin Kaepernick, and I mean, I felt like still a reach. And the reason why I say that Colin Kaepernick is a reach, like I said, he comes out of the pistol offense out of Nevada. And, am I saying that Colin Kaepernick is not a talented player? No, I'm not saying that. I think Colin Kaepernick has an extreme amount of talent. Very talented player. Definitely a better quarterback prospect than Alex Smith coming out of college. There's no doubt about that. Colin Kaepernick, let me give you the positives about him. I think that he has a very, very quick release. he gets rid of the ball very quick, and he has a strong arm. Of course, we all know that he can run, but like I said in my pre-draft video, coming out of that pistol offense into the NFL, you know, I just hope this isn't going to be a very huge transition for him, you know. And if we bring Alex Smith back, this kid's not going to be ready. A lot of kids are going to be, a lot of people are going to be calling him to get in the game. And, you know, if Alex Smith is there, and I don't think that's going to be right. But that's why I said we need to bring in a veteran quarterback for this young kid. Let him study under that veteran quarterback and get the job done, you know. And I think Kaepernick could be all right. If he sits for a year, I think Kaepernick could be okay. I think he has potential. He definitely has potential. But he needs to sit. We need a veteran quarterback. We need to pick up a veteran quarterback. Fuck Alex Smith. We need a veteran, proven veteran quarterback to get in there, and Colin Kaepernick can learn under him. But I think that Kaepernick could be okay just as long as we don't try to throw and thrust him out there fast. You know, I think that this guy definitely needs to sit and he needs to learn. He's got potential, but he needs to sit. You know, I really wasn't a big fan of us drafting him because of the situation with the lockout. This guy's coming from a pistol offense. He's going to have to learn the playbook quick. I hope that, you know, fans understand that this guy is not ready to play right now. He is not ready. We need to sit him. This guy is not ready. You know, me personally, I would have preferred Andrew Dalton, but, you know, like I said, Colin Kaepernick is there. I really, in this second round, I wanted Razai Dowling, or, you know, another player that I was kind of big on, Greg Little, wide receiver from North Carolina. I mean, Kaepernick was to me about the same rated kind of quarterback as Pat Devlin from Delaware. I thought they were two of the same. I mean, I thought both of them had an extreme talent, but, you know, with a year or so of sitting in the NFL, I think they could really be great. But I really wasn't big on drafting either one of those guys because I wanted somebody more ready to play in the NFL. Somebody like an Andy Dalton, somebody like a Christian Ponder. But it's okay. Or me personally, like I said, I want a veteran quarterback. But, you know, in the third round, we picked up Chris Culliver from South Carolina. And and that was a reach too, but my only thing about that is he's played corner, he's played safety, and my only thing is maybe Deshaun Ghostin might be on. I mean, maybe we're trying to get him out of there, and we want a versatile guy. Maybe they could play free safety. I could kind of see that with the Chris Culliver thing. You know, we got Chris Culliver. Yeah, true enough. DeMarcus Van Dyke, he was there to pick, but you know, we didn't pick him, and no, it's not because he ran the fastest 40 time. I thought that he had some playmaking ability, but, you know, Chris Culver is what we got. I really didn't get off of my feet and get excited about the draft until we drafted in the fourth round, and we got Kendall fucking Hunter. Yes, I love this pick. Kendall Hunter, you know, runs a lot like Frank Gore, plays just like him, solid guy. Small, compact, low to the ground. He could run the fucking ball. He can make plays. This guy's going to be a playmaker. Only means probably we might get rid of Westbrook. I don't see Westbrook coming back to us. But Kendall Hunter, I think, is going to be extreme playmaker. In the fifth round, we draft Daniel Kilgore out of Appalachian State. You know, really don't know much about Kilgore, although I've heard a lot of positive things about him. I hope that he can come in and he can be versatile. There's been a lot of talk about him moving to center or playing the center position, a position I always said that I felt like we were hurting at in the center position. So hopefully, you know, he could be a player for us, and we'll see what happens with Kilgore. Daniel Kilgore and all of that. Sixth round, 2 picks. Ronald Ronald Johnson from USC, wide receiver with a lot of talent, a lot of speed, but drops the ball. Hopefully we can get that fixed. And also Colin Jones, safety out of TCU, another guy that's got decent speed. And we'll see how those guys work out. But who knows? In the seventh round, we get 3 picks in the seventh round. We select Pearson. I don't know much about Pearson from Montana State, a guard. Hopefully he'll be versatile too. We also select in the 7th round Bruce Miller, who is an interesting story. He played linebacker and defensive line, but we're going to convert him to fullback, for the 49ers and see what he does. So, even though I know Moran Norris is getting up there in age, so we're looking for a replacement. But the pick that I'm really extremely excited about is Curtis Holcomb out of Florida A&M. This guy, I'm telling you, this guy is a playmaker. This guy, I have heard about this guy. I know he comes from a small school. He's got decent speed. He's got 4.43, 4.45 speed. This guy is very physical cornerback, something that we really need, but he plays with speed. And, did the bench press, I believe he did the bench press twice. At his pro day, he did the bench press, the 225 19 times. But this guy also, at one point, lifted 225, 23 times. And that shows you the strength of this cornerback. Very physical, plays with speed. This guy can make plays. I don't know if anybody else, I had a relative that played against him. They went to Mississippi Valley and played against Florida A&M. And he said that this guy can play ball. And we'll see. We'll see how Holcomb works out. But all in all, a lot of reaching, but I am kind of pleased because we did draft, need. So that's really pretty much about it. I'm not really going to grade our draft. I'm not going to crucify anybody, but I just have to see them play first and see how it works out, because I can't judge anybody until they play a down of football. So that's pretty much all I got. TTC 9 Empire. It's your boy Mailman, and I am